Well, it is now being reported that Nick Sorenson is going to be removed as the defensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers. However, they are trying to keep him on the staff in some sort of capacity. Maybe that's the special teams coordinator, what have you. So they are working through those details, but they are looking for a new defensive coordinator. So the names you've heard, I'm sure, so far: Luke Anaramu, believe that's how you say his name, from the Bengals. This one I don't understand at all. He's been in the league for a while. He's had one defense finished top 15 in scoring, and that was number 6 a couple years ago. He has never had a defense finish top 15 in yards. So I know he's been around for a while. I think people clamor for him because he did well against the Chiefs ish, but the 49ers play the Chiefs once every 4 years. And if they're lucky, they might play them again in the Super Bowl. To me, that is not a reason to go get a defensive coordinator. So I am good on him. Robert Saleh, obvious natural fit. For me, I said it in the last video when I was talking about Dre Greenlaw, maybe coming back, maybe not. I personally wouldn't go get Robert Saleh, not because I don't think he's a good coach, but because we've been there before and they didn't win a Super Bowl. I want something fresh. I want something new. Schematically, I would love something new as well. And if you bring in Saleh, he's going to run what you've been running. Unfortunately, this team does not have the talent, near the talent it had in 2019 defensively. I just don't think that it'll go as well as people think. And then Ulbrich, obviously ex 49er, love that, but he's basically Robert Saleh light. So, maybe, but for the same reasons I would say no to Saleh for the most part, I would say no to Ulbrich. I'm going to give you a name that not a lot of people are going to talk about. But for me, I also want a defensive coordinator that is more of a lifer at defensive coordinator, somebody who maybe tried their hand at head coach and is no longer going to get any more chances. You bring in a Robert Saleh and he does well, he's going to want to leave in a couple of years. And somebody's going to give him an opportunity. He's still young enough. Give me one of those grizzled veterans, somebody who knows how to run a defense, knows how to coach a team, somebody that you can just set it and forget it and allow them to do their thing. I'm going to throw out Mike Pettin. Now, I don't know how many of you are familiar with Mike Pettin, but he was at his best when he was with the New York Jets in 2009 and 2010. But he was on the Ravens staff for a lot of those great defenses. Then he went with Rex Ryan over to the Jets, did very well over there. We know that. He's had 4 times his defenses have finished top 10 in points given up. And 5 times his defenses have finished top 10 in yards given up. He's coached all around the league. He's coached with the Jets. He's coached with the Packers. Cleveland, he was their head coach at one point. But his ship has sailed for that, where he's 58 years old, likely not going to be looking at getting a head coaching position. Right now, he's just basically an advisor over for the Minnesota Vikings and what Flores is doing over there. Now, we know Flores is a hot head coach candidate, deservedly so. We love what they do defensively over there. And if you remember those Jets defenses, those Ravens defenses before that, before Rex Ryan went and got hired as the New York Jets head coach, aggressive. Now, obviously, they had great players as well, and the 49ers need to figure that out, no matter who the defensive coordinator is. But you bring in somebody like Pettin, who's been around the block. You don't have to worry about him leaving in a couple years as a head coach. He's not old enough to where he would just retire in a couple years. I mean, 58 years old is not that old as far as coaching goes. And he's done a lot of things in this league. He's been successful. He's ran a lot of successful defenses. He's a lot of different style defenses. So for me, that's somebody that I would look at as well. Now, question is, does he want to run a 3-4? What does that look like? I don't know. I mean, that's something philosophy-wise, schematic-wise, you're going to have to work out. But man, I feel like if you're going to give the reins to somebody that knows what the hell they're doing, Pettin might be your answer. So there's other good candidates. I'm sure they'll end up with Olbrook, maybe Sala. I don't. I personally don't think Sala is going to want to come back himself. We'll see. Maybe Olbrook will. I think that's probably where they're going to end up. And I think no matter what, it is an upgrade over Sorensen for sure. But first and foremost, they got to get this talent figured out. Dre Greenlaw, if he walks, that's a big hurt. But I don't know. I just, if you can get a guy that's not young, that's not going to leave in 2 years after some success, that you can just have on this team coaching wise for a while, Mike Pettin might be a name to consider for sure.